Welcome back to Vlogmas Small Business Grant Edition, where we are doing 25 grants in 25 days. So turn your bell on to make sure you do not miss any of these grant opportunities, and go back and check out all of the other grant opportunities because a lot of the grants in that playlist have absolutely no deadline. In this grant opportunity, I am valuing it at $30,000, even though it's more, because the last grant that was similar to this, I put it at $50,000, and I figured, they're giving a little bit more in the other grant opportunity, so make sure you check that out. But this is going to be for a 10-week cohort. And similar to the last video, the goal of this cohort is by the end of the cohort, you're going to be positioned to pitch for funding. So even though it's not a guarantee that you're going to get a grant at the end, you're going to pitch for funding at the end of the cohorts. And of course, being that they're going to be investors in the room as well, they have skin in the game. So they are going to want to make sure that you are as successful as possible so they can get a return on that investment. And as I said, you're not only going to have investors, but you're going to have access to other capital opportunities, including grants, and you're going to have a mentorship. Not only are you going to have mentors that are industry experts, they're going to do peer-to-peer mentors. So they're going to connect you with individuals that are going through the cohort with you that has a specific industry expertise, and then vice versa, whatever your expertise is, y'all will be able to share that information through collaboration, as I say, bartering services. But also, y'all, unlike the last opportunity, this cohort is online. So you do not have to worry about traveling somewhere, quitting your job, or if you're a full-time entrepreneur, leaving your business for an extended period of time. But this is going to be an amazing opportunity to help you skip those teachable moments. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Ebony, a licensed attorney out of the state of Missouri, and on this channel, we focus on grants, legal tips, and setting a foundation for your business to get you to generational wealth because, yes, money is good, but we want our money to serve generation after generation after generation. Check out the small business grant playlist. I post several grant opportunities in there. I post no deadline grants in there. I post no business needed grants in there. I post industry specific grants in there and global opportunities. And now we have Vlogmas, which is 25 grants in 25 days. And y'all, I have 2 books. That first book is an ebook, and it's for individuals that's like, I just want to read the information. I don't want to do too much more. I will soak in the content and figure out how to do the rest. And then I have a workbook that is 130 pages of content. It has quizzes in there. It has fill in the blanks. It has sample answers. So literally by the end of that book, you will have a mission statement, a vision statement, all that good jazz. And these books will help you figure out what to do before you get the grant, if you get the grant, applying for the grant, if you don't get the grants, and finding grants. And if you're like, I don't know if I really want to purchase these books just yet, I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can go to the website and see the 5-star reviews to help you make a more informed decision before spending your money. And if you would like to further support the channel so I can continue to provide these resources free of charge on YouTube, come on over to the Patreon. I'm going to quickly share my screen so you can see what's in there in case you want to join. Here's the Patreon. Yes, information is locked. However, once you become a member, the information will be unlocked. I post different grants in here. I post cohorts. I post articles. As you can see, we talked about the BOI, which is incredibly hot right now. I post anything that I think will be helpful for you while you're on your entrepreneurship journey. All right, but we ain't trying to stay over there too long because we're trying to figure out how we finna get access to this cohort that's valued at $30,000. It's probably more than that, but it is a 10-week cohort, y'all. And this one, they specifically stated that you're gonna have to provide a headshot. So get that together now before you get ready to apply. I will say, this cohort has a lot of questions for the application, but I would also include that their end goal is for you to either launch an idea or expand on your current business within a 3 to 6 month period. So if you are not in a position to launch your idea or expand your business within 3 to 6 months, you are not eligible for this opportunity. But before we get into more details, y'all already know leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what type of business you have, city, state, and or industry, because I am pulling from a comment and I could potentially find a grant that is in your city, state, or industry. And with Vlogmas 25 grants in 25 days, it is more likely than not that I might pull your comments and possibly find that grant. Now, this grantor, y'all, they are going to help you go from idea to implementation, but this grant is specific to individuals. And they said you got to have hustle. If you don't have hustle or grit, you will not fit into their cohort either. And then they're going to help you gain clarity on how to develop your idea. Now, with the cohort, as we said, it's a 10-week cohort. You're going to have weekly calls with a mentor. And y'all already know, I think mentors are invaluable because you skip teachable moments. So if it would have taken you a year to launch, that's why they're saying 3 to 6 months. Because the folks have already done what you've done and they know where your stopgaps possibly will be, and they will assist you with getting over those. Now, let's get into these questions. But I will say, similar to previous grants, it's word limits. This one is 100 words. Some of the questions said 100 words or less. The other ones, it didn't give you a word count, but I would stay with that same theme. Even if you go up to 250, you will have to give them a 1-minute pitch deck. And in previous videos, when you think about a pitch deck, you want to make sure that you are in the video. Do not have a bunch of other people in that video. So in this pitch video, make sure you focus on getting some type of emotion out of that grantor. Do not just talk about your credentials. Do not talk about your experience. Do not talk about any of those things, your accolades, your awards. Talk about the passion, talk about the why, and talk about how working with them will get you closer to where you're trying to go or help you scale quicker than what you're already doing. The first question, 100 words or less, how long have you been working on the idea? That shouldn't take 100 words, right? But if you have not been working on the idea, they want to then know, what is your idea? And then the next question is, define your ideal paying customer and the problem that you're solving. We already know what they're asking. They're asking about your target market. So make sure, again, that you drill it all the way down. So you want to do age, race, socioeconomic status, gender, location, hobbies, interests, etc. And then what is their problem that you're solving? As I say in most videos, if you're an entrepreneur and you got an idea, you got a product, you got a service, it's coming because you see a problem, so therefore you're going to solve that problem. And then how does or will your idea generate income? You already know that. The next question, how does your faith influence you? That is a personalized question. So you're just going to have to sit and think about that and give them an answer as to how your faith has influenced where you are today and why you have this idea and or why you would like to implement this idea or why you have already implemented your idea. Then you're also going to tell them your biggest areas of challenge or opportunities for growth. And this has to be related to that idea. And these are just those barriers. These are those stopgaps, as we've talked about. It could be marketing, right? It could be technology. It could be delegating because you don't have the capacity to delegate because you don't have enough staff. It could be finding other businesses to collaborate with. It could be figuring out your target market because you thought you had this target market, but the sales are not in alignment with what you projected when you looked at your target market and you looked at the problem that you were solving in community and you predicted how many folks would want to buy whatever it was that you were selling. And then demonstrate your ability to build a business. They want to know your skills. So this is the question where you can talk about your credentials, your accolades, your awards, your all of those things, right? So this is where you want to tell them, you know, I've been a lawyer for 15 years. I've been practicing contract law for this many years, or I've done construction law, or whatever it is that I've done. And then similar to your situation, you're going to want to talk about the things that you've done, not just your credentials, but then also that hands-on experience. And even if you don't have hands-on experience that is directly related to the idea that you have or the current business that you're doing, you want to think about those transferable skills, right? If I were thinking of myself, I'm going to think about the fact that yes, I'm an attorney, but one of my skill sets is I pay incredibly close attention to detail, right? And that is going to be important if you're operating a business because things can fall through the cracks if you're not paying attention to details. And then tell them a time that you developed an idea into a tangible service or a tangible product. And this is something that is going to be easy for you to answer. And then share a time where you had to pivot and then what did you learn? This goes back to one of the requirements that you got to have some hustle about you and you have to have some grit about you. Pivoting is when you have hit a roadblock and it's like, what did you do to overcome that challenge? And then how were you successful? And then, as I say, what was that teachable moment for you? What did you learn? And then if you have enough word count left, I would talk about how you had a challenge, you pivoted, you learned from it, you were faced with something similar in the future, and then that teachable moment made this next challenge that much easier. And then what problem is your business solving? But also, what is your knowledge of that problem? And then how do you know it's a demand to solve that problem? This is market research, y'all. So this grantor, even though they're not using the words that we are accustomed to hearing, and this is what I say, you have to pay attention to these questions, right? When they say, what makes you unique? No, they're asking, how are you innovative? How are you different? And this is what this grantor is trying to see. Have you done market research? Because anybody can wake up with an idea, but have you taken the necessary steps to validate the fact that this is a viable business idea? Or are you just like, let me try everything and let me get into this cohort? No, remember, their end goal is to make sure that you get access to capital. So they want to make sure that whoever they allow into the program is going to be a successful business owner. And then, as I said at the top of the video, why do you want to be a part of this program? Again, you can say, oh, you're going to give me mentors, you're going to help me do that. No. We need to research them. We need to research the grantor, see what their mission, vision, and values are, see if there's alignment, and then that's what you want to talk about. You want to go to their webpage and pull something from their webpage. Let's say, because I know that they do say that they work with underrepresented communities. You would then say that you want to be a part of this cohort because you've always been passionate about working with underrepresented communities, and or you are an individual from an underrepresented community, and seeing that they are aligned with your mission, vision, and value lets you know that not only will you be successful through them, but you will be able to learn from them while sharing common goals, visions, missions, and values. Tie the stuff in, and you are going to outsmart the other applicants because they're going to give this generic answer versus personalizing your answer to the grantor as to why you want to participate in that program. Now, y'all, leave that comment. Let me know where you're watching from, city, state, and/or industry, so I could possibly find a grant in your city, state, and/or industry. But with all of that information, y'all, let's look at this grant. All right, y'all, this grant opportunity is sponsored by Do Good X. And I forgot to say before we got here that if you are experiencing a hardship, are willing to assist you with overcoming that hardship so you are able to participate in this cohort. But they can't help everyone, so it is not a guarantee that they will be able to assist you. However, there is a possibility that they will be able to assist you with that hardship so you can show up as your best self in an attempt to get in front of some investors and get access to capital and get access to mentors and get access to peer-to-peer mentors and take your idea to implementation. So we're going to go to change makers and go to fellows. And here are their 2023 fellows. As I always say, click on these individuals so you can see who have they funded in the past and are you potentially aligned with who they have funded. But then also you have access to their mentors. So just scroll through here, see who they're utilizing. Do not stalk these people, okay, y'all? And I do not recommend reaching out to any of the mentors until after you are part of the program because if I were a mentor, it would kind of be creepy to me if somebody reached out and they have not been placed in the program just yet. So you can scroll through here. And then also if you're like, you know what? I want to be a mentor. So you can apply to do that as well. And then finally, we want to look at their investors. In my opinion, this is going to be the most important place, right? Because what is important to the investor? So when you get to that pitch phase of this cohort, you want to make sure that you have researched them to no end. But I highly, highly, highly recommend researching all of their investors before you sign up with that cohort, because that is strategy. Because let's say your idea doesn't fit into anything that these investors would invest in, but you had a backup idea that you're like, I don't know if I really want to do it. And this is something that these investors are passionate about. You're probably going to get an investment at the end of this cohort. Then once you get back to the homepage and you click apply now, you're going to be taken to the application. Now, I'm not going to click through all of this because we talked about it, but this application is going to take you a little bit longer than other applications, but I think that it would be worth it to get access to mentorship, to get access to capital. I'm going to say it again, to get access to capital, and they have skin in the game. So once you go through all of this, you're going to give them information that you're asking for. You can either save your application, which is great because if you need to stop and come back, but then you're going to submit your application, and then you're going to come back here and leave me a comment and tell me you were selected for that cohort, and then we're going to celebrate you because you're getting that much closer to generational wealth, which is the goal of this channel. But of course, y'all, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the ebook, check out the workbook, check out the Patreon, check out the small business grant playlist, and definitely check out Vlogmas because we got 25 grants in 25 days, and I am so grateful for all of you that are on this journey with me. Let me know if you like Vlogmas too, y'all. But of course, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me virtually. I want to thank you for supporting the channel, and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are having a beautiful day, and I will see you all next time.